In this lecture, we are going to learn about inheritance. Okay, so inheritance in C++. So let's see what does inheritance mean. So from example from nature, so let's say we have a class known as animal. Okay, so we know animals. Okay, now animals, if you see, so mammals and reptiles both are animals, but they are specialization or derivation of from animal. Okay, so mammals are also animal and reptile is animal. Okay, so inheritance follows what is known as is a relationship. Okay, so is a relationship that, okay, mammal is an animal, reptile is animal. Then what happens, we can also say that, okay, so cat and dog are derived from mammal class. Okay, so cat is also mammal and dog is also mammal, but they have some specialized feature. Okay, so both cat and dog have some features that are common to both of them that comes under mammal, but then cat mews and dog barks, so that is different. Okay, so something extra is added. So this is a superset of your base class mammal. Okay, now reptile, so crocodile and snakes both are reptile. Okay, so it follows is a relation, but they have something extra also from reptiles that distinguishes them. Okay, so crocodile and snake. Now you see dog, so dog also have a lot of breeds in them. Okay, or classes. So for example, you have sporting dog, okay, that are used for sports, and some are working dog that help the policemen and all, and there is a class known as terriers. Okay, so these are classes of dogs. So sporting dog, working dog and terriers. So this tells us that this, in all the classes, the box you see below, they inherit from their parent class. So the class dog is the parent or the base class. Okay, so they are the base class, and working dog, sports dog and terriers are the derived class. Okay, so because they are derived from the dog class, so they, all of them will share the features that all the dogs have. Okay, so they all bark, they are all animals. In fact, these share all the features of mammals and all the feature of animals. Okay, because a working dog is also an animal, a working dog is a mammal, so it will have all the features and properties of mammal, as well as it will have all the properties of dog. Okay, so it's a kind of hierarchical structure, so which tells us about inheritance. And this is very important object oriented programming paradigm, because one thing is that, let's say I already have some feature. Okay, so I have a class for animal. Okay, and I know that, okay, animal can move, it has one property that animals can move and they breathe. Okay, so any feature that tells about move and breathe, so now when I'm writing some extra class, new class, let's say of mammal, then only I will add some specific feature between that differentiates mammal and reptile. I don't need to repeat these two features in the mammal class. Okay, so this is known as derived class, and here, so it helps to reuse the code. Okay, reuse the code means someone who has already written a code or a class for animal and tested it. Okay, so now all those features you can just say that, okay, class animal. Okay, so animal is already there, so I write a mammal, and then I say that, okay, public, okay, animal. So this definition will help us say that class mammal is derived from animal. Okay, so then we will have all the properties of animal that will come into a mammal class. So the class name you write, then you give a colon, then we give the access specifier. Okay, you give the, hey, this is the public, it can be private also. So this is the access specifier, and this gives us the that okay, what kind of inheritance is it. Okay, so this defines our inheritance. What is inheritance? Then you will see that one access specifier there is protected. Okay, so there is a protected keyword in your classes now. So what does this mean? So this means that we saw that whatever is public is defined public in a class, that can be accessed from outside the class, and whatever is defined as private, so that can be accessed only from inside the class. Okay, now what is this protected? So this protected is there. If you write a member, data member or function as protected, it means they are accessible or visible from the derived classes. Okay, so they are accessible from the derived class, but they are not accessible from the outside the class. Okay, so this is a level that says that okay, derived class can access those features but not the outside, all the people. So this is there. So now let's try to see one example. Okay, we will see one C++ code. Okay, hands-on experience. So what should we do? So we will see the code. So let's come to the code now and see how it is done. So we have a class animal here. So this is an animal class. It has of course the constructor for animal, that I am in the constructor, destructor for the animal class. Okay, then let's see. So we have some functions. Okay, so int get age. Okay, so this tells to retrieve the age, and get weight. All the animals have their age and weight. Okay, so these are some attributes that are there in all animals. They have their age and they have weight. Okay, so and then we have some functions also that all animals should have. They should speak and they should sleep. Okay, so these are two functions. Now as discussed, so they have the members member age and member weight. Those are protected. So protected means they can be accessed from the derived class, but they are not publicly available or visible. Okay, so this says that okay, you have one animal class. Okay, it has two features, like one is int member age and another one is int member weight. Okay, so those two are there, and now you have some functions also. Let's try to see the functions we have specified. I think they are public. Okay, so they are available to anyone. So this is done now. Now we make one function, okay, a class that's known as cat. Okay, cat, and we know a cat is a animal, an animal. Okay, so it follows is a, so it implies we have inheritance. So cat, it is public animal, which means that it is deriving from animal. Okay, so if we just write that okay, class cat and public animal, now if you don't write anything also for this class, then also it will have all the methods and members like its weight. Okay, weight and age will be there, and the methods for handling them, the functions like get weight, set weight, okay, get age and set age. So those will be available even if you just write this. Okay, so this is very important because now you are reusing the code that is already written by someone, so you are not reinventing the wheel. Okay, you have already got an animal class, we use it, okay, by just saying that public animal. And then what happens is, so but there should be some extra features which distinguishes cat from a dog, let's say. Okay, it is animal, so it will sleep, it will speak, but okay, so now we say that okay, what a special features it has. So we will say that okay, the cat has its breed. Okay, so what is its breed? That is there. So this is something extra we are saying about cat. And then it wags its tail, look for food. Okay, these are some features for the cat. And then it also has a member, protected member, breed. Okay, So this tells that this is private for all the people outside of the class, and this can be accessed by the derived class. Let's come to dog. So it's an animal, of course, okay, but we are not deriving it from a cat. A dog is not a cat, okay, so we are deriving it from animal. A dog is an animal. So we are in the constructor of dog, okay, and destructor of dog. So some dog properties, is it a watchdog, does it work, is it a working dog, something like that, how much dog eats, okay. And then we have some functions like speak, okay. So there is speak was already there in animal, but we have defined, and this we will see later in our later lectures why we have. So now let's try to see, this is the code blocks and it provides good features. So for example, now let's see with the autocomplete function what are the methods available, what are the functions and data members available to cat. So get age is available, this was in the animal class, that is available to cat. Get breed, this is special function for cat class. Get weight was there in the base class animal. Look for food was there in the cat class. Member age, member breed and member weight are there, okay. Besides that, set age, set breed, set weight, sleep, speak, wag tail, and then it has animal, cat, all are there, the destructors, okay. So these things are available to the cat, okay. Now let's see, if I just define one animal class, animal A, let's say, okay. So animal dot, if I do, so it only has got get age, get weight, my age, weight, set age, set weight, sleep and speak, and animal destructor. These are things available to the animal class, okay. And now what we do, let's see for the dog, okay, what are available for the dog class. So dog has got age, weight, okay, how much it eats, is it watchdog, those are available. And now here you see it has no functions available that were available especially in the cat class, extra features of the cat, okay. So this tells that, okay, these are the features available to dog class. Now we can run this and see. So few things that we should note here is, now when I'm writing the dog class, I don't need to again write the set age, set weight, okay, get age, get weight, because all those are already available to us. So what things are not derived from your base class, okay. So we should note that what are the things that are not available. So one is the constructor, okay. So we don't derive the constructor, we have to add our own constructor and destructor, okay. And then we don't derive the friend functions or friend class. So we will see what is friend class, and then these are few things, and operator, equal operator also we don't derive, okay. So we will see in the next, in this class we see what is inheritance and how it helps. So I hope you understand this. Thanks a lot.